I welcome you all at the online sport program 2021. This is mathematics tutorial for class 8, week 6. I'm Mr. Mohammad Zishan from APS Ordnance Road, Rawalpindi. Topic of this week is gradient of a straight line. Objective of lesson is the student will be able to know about graph of a linear equation always comes a straight line. Gradient or slope of a straight line tells us about its steepness, means the steepness of a line. X-intercept and Y-intercept are the points where y equal to 0 and x equal to 0 respectively. It means on the x-intercept y always becomes a 0 and on the y-intercept x always becomes a 0. Gradient, the formula of the gradient is vertical change over horizontal change is equal to rise over run. Skills to be focused are identifying, applying, graphing, simplifying, and digital literacy. This is a two-coordinate system which you actually use to plot a linear graph or find the gradient or slope of a straight line. It contains two axes, the x-axis and the y-axis. X-axis is also known as the horizontal axis and the y-axis is also known as the vertical axis. It contains four quadrants. The first quadrant starts from the top right corner. The second quadrant is on the top left. Third quadrant is the bottom left. And the fourth quadrant is in the bottom right. The point where both the x-axis and y-axis meet is called origin. Because x is also known as a run and the y-axis is also known as a rise. So in the origin there is no run and no rise. So that's why their x and y points are 0, 0. The two coordinate system is also known as the Cartesian coordinate system, in which there is the x-axis and the y-axis and the fourth quadrant, which have already been discussed in the previous slide. Now, the right side of the horizontal line is the positive x-axis and left side of the horizontal line becomes the negative x-axis. Similarly, the top side of the vertical line is the positive y-axis and the bottom side of the vertical line becomes a negative y-axis. It contains the four quadrant. What actually quadrant tells us about? If we took a point R, 6, 7, in the first quadrant, this point becomes 6 and 7, plus 6 and plus 7, because both the x-axis and the y-axis are positive in the first quadrant. Similarly, if we took the same point R in the second quadrant, this x point becomes a negative, it becomes a minus 6 because of this minus x-axis. Similarly, if we took this point in the third quadrant, here both the x and y points becomes a negative because of their negative x-axis and the negative y-axis. And now if we took this point again in the fourth quadrant, this becomes x positive and the y negative because of the x positive x-axis and the y negative x-axis. Now we are going to find the slope or gradient of a straight line. Here we are having a straight line. Now we choose any two points from that straight line. I have chosen A and B. You can choose any of the 2 points. It doesn't matter, you will get the same slope or same gradient if you choose any of the 2 points. At the point A, you can see it's 2, 3 because all the points are in the ordered pair form x, y, x, comma, y. So the first point is of x and the second point is of the y. How we get the 2? Because if we match from that point on the x-axis, we get 2, and if we match from that point to the y-axis, we get 3. So we get 2, 3, 2, 3. Similarly, come to the point B. We are having minus 4, minus 6, where minus 4 is the point of x and minus 6 is the point of y. If we match from point B to the x-axis, we have minus 4. If we match from point B to the y-axis, we have minus 6. And now gradient or slope is represented by m. It having vertical change over horizontal change. What does change mean? Vertical change, vertical points are y points. So y2 minus 1, y1 will be vertical change. Horizontal change becomes the x change in the x points. So x2 minus x1 will be the horizontal change. Here what are the x1 and y1, what are the x2 and y2? You can say any point A or B as x1, y1 and the point A as x2, y2. So what is y2? Y2 means the second point of y. Here you can see second point of y is I have put A point is x2 and y2. So here y2 is 3 minus That is the formula of minus. y1 is minus 6, you can see at the bottom. Similarly, in the horizontal change x2 minus x1, it's 2 minus into minus 4. So is this minus minus becomes plus, 3 plus 6 becomes a 9, and 2 plus 4 becomes a 6. Why we will cancel both 9 and 6, we will get 3 over 2. So if you choose any other 2 point, you can see you will get the same slope or gradient. In the previous slide, we have learned to find the gradient or slope of a line which is neither parallel to x-axis nor y-axis. Now, suppose if the line is parallel to x-axis, then what will be its gradient? Again, we have to choose any 2 points on a line. I have chosen AB. You can choose any other 2 points at different places except AB. It doesn't matter. You will get the same slope. Now, I have chosen A point, that is 4 and 2, because why it's 4 and 2, here x point is 4 and y point is 2. Because if we match from point A on the x-axis, it is 4 boxes apart from the origin. If we match from point A to the y-axis, it is 2 boxes apart from y origin. Similarly, point B is minus 6 and 2, because minus 6 is the x point and the 2 is the y point. If we match from point B on the negative x side, it is 6 boxes apart from the origin. Similarly, point B to the y-axis, it is 2 boxes apart from the origin. So here we are having xy in the form of xy, point A, and the point B is also in the form of xy. So we can say any point A or B as x1 y1 and the second point x2 and y2, because we are having 2 x and y. So we can differentiate by x1 y1 and the x2 y2. Again, we will use the same formula of the slope or gradient, that is represented by m equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Here you can see, to find the change of the vertical line, vertical points are 2, 2. So 2 minus 2 becomes 0, and in the horizontal change x2 minus x1, here x2 is 4 minus into minus 6, this becomes 4 plus 6, this becomes 10. So 0 or 10, whatever the number in the denominator is, if the numerator is 0, you will get the answer 0. So here the slope of a line parallel to x-axis will always becomes a 0. Now let us check to find the gradient of a line that is parallel to y-axis. Is it possible to find its slope or not? Here is the line that is parallel to y-axis. Again, I have to choose any 2 points on the line. I have chosen AB. You can choose any other 2 points at different places. Here A point is 4, 2, because its x point is 4, because if we match from point A on the x-axis, it is 4 boxes apart from the origin. And if we match from point A on the y-axis, it is 2 boxes apart from the origin. Similarly, point B is 4 minus 7. Here again x-axis is 4 boxes apart from the origin, and the y-axis is minus 7, because it is 7 boxes apart from the origin, and it is on the negative y-axis, that's why it's negative 7. So here the gradient formula is m equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, where m equal to 2, the y points are, you can see y points, it's 2 and minus 7. So 2 minus into minus 7, that becomes a 2 plus 7, and it becomes a 9 over x2 and x1. Both x points are same, 4 and 4. You can see 4 minus 4 gives us a 0, and 9 over 0 is infinity. Here infinity is a symbol when you cannot define anything, when we cannot represent in any number form. So we use this symbol to write that undefined. The slope of a line that is parallel to y-axis is not defined. So we cannot never find the slope of a line parallel to y-axis. Things that need to be remembered. First, all the points on the graph where y equal to 0 are called the x-intercept. Second, all the points on the graph where x equal to slope of a line parallel to y-axis would not be defined, as we have checked in the last slide. Success criteria. Remember, in two coordinate system there is x-axis and the y